breaking news on the block. Get down.
Let me clear my throat. Oh, that's better. That's better. Somebody pass around the offering. Since I'm always preaching on tracks, you feel me? I might as well get paid for it. Sermon of the day. You right where you supposed to be, baby. Informants informing, that information forming. Important you get a portion of fortune pouring. Confession, fortunately, blessings on now they snoring. You mellow, so focused on scoring. Got you underperforming. I never expect something, never assume nothing. Judging me for my past, but that's why I'm triumphant. I don't demand, I know where I stand like engineer hands. Watch how my life pans. That game plan, show out like a drata, pop out like a cutter. Telling the quick rock, skipping the course, squares like hopscotch. This gonna be my mood to my beat drop. Putting my boogies, using my diddy boots, ain't no stop. I'ma make the rest of my life live. Yeah, I'ma make the rest of my life live. Gonna make the rest of my life the best of my life. Yeah, I'ma make the rest of my life live. I'ma make the rest of my life live. Gonna make the rest of my life the best of my life. Congratulations on the celebration. I know I'm dope without a need of a validation. No congratulations on no celebration. I know I'm dope without a need of a validation. Yeah. If having hope is dangerous, call me evil Knievel. You leading on the wrong side, living with peasant needles. So lethal, made Shane Black wanna write a sequel. Cause I snuggle my dream till it's seen as illegal. And I still probably will, cause I can never give up. I got my goals calling me, how could I never pick up? Either we make up or just break up. With the snake hits, get the rake up. Yeah, selfish, I'ma cake up. If I don't shake me to wake up, let my depression catapult me to succession.
There. You know, since I get a little excited, get hyped. That's my hype music. So good evening. Happy Thursday, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining us here on Thursday night with me, your girl, Lady Dawn B, on the best network in YouTube. That's right, Super Bias. We hit 1K and we celebrated on Tuesday. So please do me a favor, please, sir, please, ma'am. Just hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to this amazing channel. Help us to get to our next goal. That's right. We're not stopping, but we are growing on. But we appreciate you all here for being a part of the Bravo Nation. And we are looking forward to what the next 6 months of this year is 7 months, excuse me, is going to bring. All right, we're halfway there. So again, good evening and welcome. I am your Thursday night host, your girl, Lady Dawn B, and I am happy to be in the house on tonight. I'm excited as always because it is the night for the men to talk. You know the motto when the men's lounge comes up. Something happens when men speak. So we're going to see what happens on tonight. We have a good 60 minutes, and I don't want to waste a lot of time. I want to get right to it. We definitely, I'm just putting this disclaimer out there right now. We are definitely going to have a part 2 to this great conversation because I'm sure once the men start sharing, people are going to have some questions and some responses. And we want to make sure that we dig into all of it. So again, welcome, 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 everyone. If you don't mind, just pop in the chat, say hello so that we can greet you properly. We appreciate you all. Those of you who are up in the expensive seats in the silent section, we invite you to come on down. It's safe. We have security here. Don't worry. I promise you, we are. Our number one rule here is respect, respect, and more respect. And with that being said, we pride ourselves with respect. Oh, thank you, Anae. Thank you so much. She told me I look so elegant. I look so elegant tonight. Well, you know, when it's the men's lounge time, I gotta be a little extra. I gotta be a little extra because you know it's the men folk. But thank you, my love. I actually have another. I'll be doing double duty tonight, so I have to hop over to another podcast. I'll be a guest panelist on myself. So, but I don't want to delay our space. All right. So again, I want to thank you all for joining. Our number one rule here is respect. We do want to mention we welcome everyone's thoughts, feelings, opinions, whatever your moral compass is. We are here to hear it. This is a place where we have conversation. We're not here to convict nor to convince. We are here to have conversation so that we can all grow and learn together, right? So that we can communicate better with one another, which helps build better relationships with each other. Why? Because no man is an island. We all need each other, whether we like it or not. So on tonight, it's our men's lounge. So again, I'm going to ask that we all be respectful. You are free to share your thoughts, feelings, and opinions. Whatever your moral compass is, this is not a Christian-based network. If you do need that, you can go right across the street to the Sheila Ingram Ministries Network. And over there, you will find all the amazing spiritual encouragement that you could ever imagine through word, prayer, and fellowship. But on this side of the street, we keep it, 1000% real. And I just want you to know that I'm a God's girl, so you always gonna get a little Jesus when you get me. But we respect everyone's thoughts, feelings, and opinions. So if you don't mind, please, ma'am, please, sir, just hit that thumbs up button and come on in the chat and say hello so that we can welcome you on tonight. That's gonna be our announcements for today. That's right, we took it to the church. It's gonna be our church announcements for tonight because I want to get into this conversation. I want to bring up our guest panelists. I appreciate these men for saying yes and for coming and letting their voices be heard concerning this conversation topic on tonight, which is, we know the month of May, we've dedicated it to the women. And on tonight, we brought our men in so that we can have this conversation and asking the question about a woman's worth in a man's life. Ladies, sometimes we don't know our value. Sometimes we don't know how much we are really needed. Sometimes we don't know how much we really add or lend. So sometimes we show up halfway and we want to do better. We want to do a better job at showing up for our men and being the support and the anchors that they need. So without further ado, I'm going to bring up to the stage here. You know him, you love him. He is absolutely no stranger. I call him my co-anchor, grooming him to be, to take this ship and steer it. And be a major voice for our men's lounge. He is my big brother. He's in the person of Mr. Rockology. You have seen him, heard him before. Come on up, big bro, and greet the people. How you doing tonight?
Hey, baby sis. Hey, how you doing? I'm doing good. Just eager to get started with this. How a woman is valuable to men. I think it's going to be a good conversation. At least men, we get an opportunity to share, what y'all mean to us. Since we always hear what we mean to y'all, we get a chance to say what y'all mean to us and what we look for. I'm just ready to go.
All right. Well, we don't want to keep it, we don't want to slow down. We want this train to move. So I'm excited and happy. These next two gentlemen, they are new to this platform. It will be their first time. So Bravo Nation, let us treat them well. Let us, greet them well. And hopefully it won't be their last time here. I had the pleasure of being in an open forum with this young man. And we were able to share, male-female conversation, and his share and his pour that he added to the conversation was very impactful. So I'm grateful for the new connection. And again, I hope it won't be his last time. I hope he'll enjoy this space and want to come back again and lend some language to our men's conversations. He is in the person of Brother Saeed Cleveland. So come on and greet him on tonight. How are you, my brother? How you doing?
Salute. Peace. All is well. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me. Can't wait to chop it with you and the good brother. I'm here and I'm happy. I'm ready.
All right, that's what we talking about. Keep that energy, and just so y'all know, we keep it real. We keep it really real here. So we are hood professionals, so to speak. We keep it classy, but we keep it 100% real. So we're looking forward to this conversation. I'm so glad that you said yes, and I'm so glad you're here to lend your voice because it is so important to hear our men speak. So this panel, when it's the men's lounge, I'm the only estrogen that will be here. Our ladies are usually in the comment section. And we lean in and we listen. And our great moderator, the greatest to ever do it, Ine Kenya, is greeting you, saying, hey, Saeed. And as well, she, of course, going to big up big bro, Mr. Rockology in the building on tonight. And now, y'all, this next person I'm going to bring up, he's a little extra. He's a little bit of, he's just a little bit of, is his first time here, but not his last time, I would hope and pray. He is someone I know very, very well, extremely well. You will be surprised in the way that I know him. But I appreciate him coming on tonight and to share. We are besties. Outside of that, we share a child, and we were formerly married. So he is in the person just to show you how deep we go to get in these conversations. That's what I do, though. So he is in the person of Sir Eric Swinton. Gonna bring him up to this platform. What's poppin', E? How you doing?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are you this evening?
I'm gonna throw him on the spot now.
No, you're not putting me on the spot. I'm good.
Thank you for joining.
I'm hoping everybody can hear me clearly.
We can hear you clearly.
All right, wonderful.
You're good. Thank you for joining us on tonight. So, guys, we have Sir Eric Swinton, we got Brother Saeed Cleveland, and we have Mr. Rockology in the house tonight. And we are again talking about a woman's worth in a man's world. Before we really jump in, of course, we want to greet the people in our chat. Landon Price is in the building saying both sides. What's up, Landon? Good to see you. Thank you for joining. I hope you all hit that thumbs up button, and don't worry, there are people who watch us up in the silent sections, and then something usually happens that triggers them to come on down. And Nay is greeting you saying, hey, Sir Eric, that's right. She is the greatest moderator to ever do it. So I'll put my glasses on and act like, I normally do. I'm going to try to stop acting like my eyes ain't old so that we can get into this conversation. So I usually start out by asking, and the first thing is, what was your first thoughts of this topic when you heard our conversation is going to be a woman's worth in a man's world? I want to know, what does that mean to you, man? I'm going to start with Saeed, and then we're going to go to Eric and then Rockology. When you heard that topic, what came to your mind?
My wife.
That's it.
What about my best friend? I wanted to know, what do she bring to the table? And I just thought about everything that she brought to the table for me. It was abundance of things, as far as joy, feminism, femininity, just a power that is undeniable. That's just my best friend. It was a lot of things came to my mind when I think of this topic. The emotional support she gives me is a mutual respect. The independence of a woman is a lot of things that women bring to the table. And my wife, she just brings me so much joy and confidence. So it's too much. It's too much to even put on this hour platform, and I don't want to take over the mic and hog the mic that they say. So I'm gonna let Rock give me his spiel a little bit.
All right. Well, I appreciate that, and I love that. You said two things that really were stuck with me, and I'm so glad you said them, which was joy. You said joy when you said my wife, and joy just kept coming out, and I love that. And ladies, I hope that you are leaning in and grabbing some nuggets as hearing what the value of a woman is in a man's world, the worth and independence, because we get pulled to the carpet so often by some others about, being an independent woman. But I love that you appreciate and value her independence, and that is awesome. Let me just greet some more people, and then Eric, we're gonna come right to you because we got the Queen Bee of the Bravo with Sheila Network in the house herself. She is in the person of Pastor Sheila Ingram. That's my auntie Bravo, and we give her Bravo. She says, blessings, everyone. Good evening. And of course, y'all know, when my mama comes, our mama comes, then the world stops when mama comes in, okay? They'll play with, I will cut it off. Mama's in the building. I am her 404. Good evening, Mommy. Thank you for joining. She says, good evening to everyone. Have a good show, Eric, Rock, and Saeed. She got all her children. Saeed, you got another mom. Now, she grabs all the people. So, you got another mama up in here.
It's always good to have another mother, Love the energy, Ma. Keep it coming.
All right. She's a petite little thing. You're going to want to pick up and put it in your pocket. I promise you. But she'll love it.
What is this the top pocket next to my heart?
Right. That's right.
That way. So we're going to hop over to Eric. Eric, come on, E. Tell us what you felt, what you thought. What was your take on this topic of women's work in a man's world? What did that mean to you?
A woman's worth for me is strength. Um, for me, my new wife, because I just got married February 22nd.
I love her, y'all.
So, so my wife is my backbone. Um, I would not be able to stand as tall as I stand on a daily basis without her. She supports me in every facet that of work, my DJing, advice for the kids, all of that. She's there nonstop, 24/7. We make things happen together, but she is my strength. She's my rock. The support that I get not only from her, but all the women that's in my life, that's in my kids' life, is the level is unexplainable. I guess that's the word that I'm looking for, is unexplainable. You know Dawn as the mother of Jalen, my son, and so forth, that we've had some challenging times and stuff like that, but you are stronger than anybody that I know in life with everything that you had to deal with. So I'm going to just say this out loud, that I appreciate you. I appreciate our friendship of almost 30 years and so forth. And I can't wait for the next 30 years of friendship to see where that next plateau takes us as friends, takes us as family, lifelong family, takes
Yes.
you as a minister, take you as a pastor. You know, um, it's crazy, but she caught me off guard because I she sent me like a question, a test question, and I really couldn't. All day long I just been working, trying to get stuff done so I can get on here in time. So, um, a woman's strength, her bond, her imagination to get things done, because y'all will take a penny and make it into $10.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? Where we as men will take 50 cent and go buy a soda with that, instead of, you know what I'm saying, instead of y'all just imagine different than we do. So your strength, your mind is different from us. Um, Lifestyles are different from us. Your dress is different from us. You know what I'm saying? You as women will reflect. My wife helps me dress. I'm gonna be honest. So she likes us to dress the same colors. I wouldn't even think about dressing the same colors as her. So, Sundays when we get off for church and we get ready to go to church, she's like, "What are you wearing?" I was like, "I don't know." She's like, "Well, I'm wearing this." So I said, "I think you should wear that." So we compliment each other when we dress.
Yes.
I don't know what else to say. I
So,
just
but
want to leave it there.
don't worry about it. We got more coming.
Yes.
Put it. But speaking of your equal half, she's in the comment section. That's right. That is my sis, y'all. Natasha Petty Swinton is in the building. Mrs. Swinton is in the house. Thank you for in, Tosh. It's good to see you. I call her Gumdrop. She calls me Baby Bop. It's what we do. As Eric said, we are a family unit for life, and we support one another in everything. And yes, many congratulations to them. I am happy to see them happy and grow and move on forward with life. And they said, wow, that's beautiful. She was referring to our relationship connection. I'm going to try to have Eric and Tasha on sometime soon so we could talk about the blended family, because we want to tell y'all how we do it. All right, because
Yes.
it's a story for another time. But we do vacations, we do family stuff. They to my house, like we make it our business to be intentional about being family. So we gonna have y'all come on and share. And we have my sis Michelle Roach in the building. She says, "Good evening, Pastor Rosa and Nate and Nate." And I believe she's talking to all of us though. Oh, and my girl Lisa is in the house. Keep me posted. Hey Lisa, good to see you. Glad that you are back up and on the road. She's doing amazing work as she is walking across country. She says, "Hey gents," and we have Natasha again saying hello. We have Mama Rosa in the house, and she says, "So what?" She says, "So what I'm hearing is a man's worth is in a man's world is in the support and love of the woman or woman in the lives of men. That's awesome." And we appreciate that comment there, Mommy. Hey, girl. Hey. Let's see who else. And see, Tasha said, "We do it right." That's right. We do it right. So that is our comments for tonight. I'm going to get to my big bro, Rockology. Tell us your thoughts on this topic.
Well, my value of a woman to me is her ability to recognize, understand, and manage not only her emotions but the emotions of the home. To me, that's important, because I always say a woman has the ability to come in and make everyone sad, or they have the ability to come in and make everybody laugh. And I've always said that, and I think that that's important, because it's the thermometer. And with that, her having that ability, it actually technically makes us look better. It makes us look like we got things under control, when it's really her who is controlling the temperature, right? So, and also having a certain level of confidence. I love a confident woman. And there's a difference between cocky and confident.
Exactly.
Right? And I like women that confidence, women that can step up and not afraid to, say what needs to be said. Then, and be, stand in authority, but don't have to be mannish when they do it. To me, that's it don't get no better than that. You don't have to be, you can stand in authority and not be mannish and not be bullyish and not be all of that. Because, we already carry enough of that. We don't need, like, I know for me, I don't need that. I don't need two of that. I need somebody like, bro, let's bring that down some. Let's bring that down. Bring it down a little bit. You need somebody that gauge, to let you know, you might be reading a little bit too much in that. You might, let's back that up and talk about it. So, and that takes confidence to do it from, for you recognizing, you're managing, the emotions, and that takes confidence to do, because sometimes we as men, we can have sensitive egos. Sometimes you really got to be careful, what you say, or sometimes one word, you be like,
that's true.
And we ready to go. And it's like, all right, so that's it as well for me.
I love that. Natasha, Eric's wife, says confidence in yourself is key. And that's for the ladies. What I love about everything that each one of you said is that each one of you is speaking from your perspective of your wife, And so, ladies, what we need to take from that is understanding how important our role as a wife or as the lady in their lives is. You are hearing from men who are in marriage, who are in their partnerships and saying, this is really what your worth and your value is to me at its core. A lot of times we've been taught so many wrong things about how a man views us, what you really go for and what you look for. I love that no one talked about the physicality of a woman. You talked about everything that was internal. And I love that the responses were not challenging or pushback to the topic, because sometimes a woman's worth people will start automatically thinking and referring it to being that we are challenging or we're taking the space of other men, you know, when we're doing all of this. And it was none of that. So I hope, ladies, that you leaning in, taking notes, and hearing the heart of our men who are speaking tonight. They said independence. The independence of a woman is what Saeed said, and he said joy when he thinks about his wife. I love that he said that about 45 times, and I love that it's ladies, be women. Go ahead, Saeed. You want to share?
Yeah. I forgot to give respect to my moms. Like, you got
Come
to
on.
get the power struggle away at times, and I give it to my wife. But the woman that can check me and correct me, you also gotta learn how to bow down and be humble to the mother figure in the room. And I have to give the shout out to my mother and my wife. I can't say one without saying the other because they both bring a dynamic. But I didn't even say moms after I spoke about my wife, but I was supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
I let the brothers talk because I ain't want to hog it.
Okay.
You just can't forget about the mother figures. And I'm happy your mother came on and it made me remember the mother figure in my life. Happy I got another one in the room. But the one who was able to check, correct, mold to the solid gold that I am, you give homage and give that respect to.
I love that. That's beautiful. And I'm glad that you paused.
Can I give another perspective?
Sure. Let me just finish this thought. You could go right. You can have it right at it. I'm gonna come right to you. First, we want to welcome Theo. She's part of the ladies' room. Thursday Night Squad. She's in the building on tonight, but I want to really thank and acknowledge Saeed for that because you're bringing up another point. And again, we're not going to hit everything in this one night, but we're going to get a solid introduction. And I promise you, in the month of June, as long as y'all are willing to come back, we're going to dig into this and really have at it because we can't do it in 60 seconds. If I didn't have another, engagement, we would be on here digging and talking about it. But I want us to whet some appetites on tonight. But I love that we will always pause for mothers. We will always pause for mothers and for fathers respectfully. I love that you brought that up because it does speak to another perspective that a lot of times we don't think of. We talk about a woman's worth in a man's world. Yes, your mother. What about your aunts and your sisters? The people, the women who are around you. We lean on them for different things. So thank you for bringing that up and paying that respect and homage. Ladies, just know that, when you're a mom, when you get older, you don't become obsolete. He paid honor to his wife and his mother. Moms, listen, your sons still need you. You're still valued and appreciated. Come on, Rock, share what you was going to share before I ask this first question we're going to talk about.
Another perspective I want to when I first saw this question, the first people I thought about were my daughters. I'm a father of 5 daughters, and how to help my wife instill in them their worth, and how they build on their worth, right? And how to assist them into developing into who they are. And even though all of them but one, well, she'll be 30 in July, all of them in their 30s now, it's like how they can still come back and and still have questions and still have, well, this is going on, mom and dad, what do you think? And it's not like going to her or going to me. They want to hear both sides. Right. And that's what we tried. And that's what I tried to instill in them when they were coming up. That it's not just one side, it's 2 sides of the spectrum. Right. It's your side and it's his side. Sometimes I got one daughter that gets upset with me sometimes because I won't say nothing until I hear his side. And you're like, you think I would lie? I'm like, it's not about lying. It's about, it's another side to the story.
Right.
So you just gotta. So that's what came to my mind. Having so many daughters, I knew when they were being born, I knew I had to play a huge role in helping develop them and what their worth is and what they may encounter growing up and encounter in relationships and stuff like that.
I know that's good because daughters, the father that you are in our lives makes a difference in the woman we become and the value that we add to the men that we become involved with, those that we connect with. So it is so important, and I love that perspective. Again, it's the value of are you putting, your daughters, our children are our prides and joys. Even though, like, my son, as Eric mentioned, took me through a whole lot of stuff. I had more tears, I think. I didn't always get to experience the pride and the joy. It was more like tears and pain, but it's starting to become a little better. He was a lot. But our children are so much, there are our hearts beating outside of our bodies, is how I call my son. And fathers, you may not always understand fully how you help mold these young girls, into the women that we are, so that we can show up and be that woman of value in a man's world. So that aspect is amazing. I want to read this comment, and then I'm going to ask y'all a question. Welcome in everybody who we did not greet earlier. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm your girl, Lady Dawn B, here on Thursday nights on the Bravo with Sheila Network. Tonight, we got our Men's Lounge panel. We got Mr. Rockology, who we got our brother Saeed, who is new to the platform, but I'm sure it will not be his last, because I'm going to keep inviting him, and I hope he keeps saying yes. And then we have Sir Eric in the house, my dude. Listen, it's just what it is, and he is new, but again, we hope his voice won't be the last here tonight either. So we're gonna read these comments, and tonight our topic is a woman's worth in a man's world. So ladies, let's lean in and hear what these men have to say. I'm getting ready to ask a good old question, but I want to read some comments, make sure that we are getting to everyone. So Alonzo Hall is in the house. Hey Alonzo, how are you? He says salute. Thank you for joining us. It is good to see you. Landon says it's an emerald. Parents can sit down and eat dinner with family, better do it. Youth need that face-to-face, especially since every generation is helping one another navigate this technology. And that is true. Our son just turned 23, and I had the pleasure of, we went out to dinner, and it was just me and him, and we phones face down, and just talking to him now at 23, we need that space and really hearing where his head is at. So you're right. When we have these opportunities, we better make sure that we take them. But we're going to get back to hearing the men's talk on tonight, because something happens when men speak. And the first question that I want to ask you guys, as they've already shared what this topic means to them, and they brought up the points that, women's worth in a man's world is of independence, one of joy, one of ability and confidence. Eric said it was unexplainable. Talked about strength and backbone and the bond that gets created. So I want to ask y'all, what exactly makes a woman valuable to you or valuable to a man? Because we know the old narrative and saying, where people think that women are just, old school, good for making babies and being in the kitchen and taking care of the home. And we know that is an old saying. We know that it's pretty much out of the door right now. But a lot of women are still feeling like we are objectified just by our physicality, that the men value. Some women think that men only value you by your physical appearance and don't realize that there's another layer to that. You can get a pretty body anywhere, but at the end of the day, men want someone that they can talk with. If I'm right, correct me if I'm wrong. You need someone who mentally stimulates you. When that prettiness wears off, what do we have? So share with me your thoughts on what really makes a woman valuable to a man. Is it really, is the weight that we put on the physical really to that magnitude? It seems like it's 90% physical according to society and 10% internal. Saeed, you want to share first?
Sure. What makes a woman valuable? Picking up the pieces that I dropped. That actually helps a lot, because I can't carry the load by myself. So when a woman picks up the pieces you drop, that's a mutual respect, and it's a challenge, but it's also inspirational. So, and that's that independence I was talking about. I'm not talking about her out there doing it alone. I'm talking about her doing it with me, but independently. You know, it's not that I want a woman to go out there in this world and deal with another man. Like it might sound crazy, but I don't want my woman to work for no other man. My woman should not have to go out there and work in an intimate setting with another man. It's my job to provide and not have her have to go out there and work with another man. Just imagine. I used to drive an ambulance before I started my first company. Just imagine your wife out there on the road in an ambulance for 10 to 12 hours a day for 30 years, working alongside of a partner. Her partner gonna know her better than you. I don't think my wife should have that type of relationship with another man. So it's my job to provide and protect her from that environment, because it's not a woman that's going to go out there and do something crazy. It's a man putting his woman in a position to do something crazy. Yes, we trust our wives. We trust each other. I trust myself, but I don't think I should be in a truck with a woman for 10 to 12 hours a day for 30 years. Like, she'll be finishing my sentence. Imagine me and Lady Dawn working on a truck for 12 hours a day for 30 years. And then right. Eric and my wife is out there. We all go to dinner. Me and Dawn going to have a better conversation than Eric and Lady Dawn. And my wife is going to be sitting there just tootling their thumbs, not able to find out what we talking about. Dawn finishing my sentences. I'm finishing her sentences because of it's only 24 hours in a day. I have to sleep so many hours. I have to have time for my family, my children, other people, self. If I'm spending all this time with Dawn, how much time am I giving to my lady? How much time is my lady giving to me? So it's my job to provide the opportunity and start the business where though she doesn't have to go out there and work. Her job should be, I know it's old school, but nurturing that family and making sure that the bills is taken care of, even with the businesses that we both started. Like, and a lot of people give me pushback when I talk about this. Oh, yo, how you just insecure, you insecure. It's not me being insecure. It's me being a man.
Right.
I'm a man about mine. And I understand that 12 hours a day is just time that could be spent with me or my family, nurturing us. So I'm not cool with a woman working in an intimate setting with the opposite sex, even the same sex. I don't want my wife being around nobody more than she around me. That's my wife. That's my best friend. I deserve that time, but it's my job to provide the opportunity and the income for her not to have to do that.
I love that. I love that. I love that. I love it all. Ladies, I hope you are leaning in and understanding that there are men out here that do have that mentality. A lot of us think that men don't see it that way. I can't speak for everybody, so I'll say some, not all. But you're hearing it from a man who's doing it. So, what I hear is, I love the fact that you say, adds value, or what is valuable is picking up the pieces that you drop. And to me, that speaks of covering and partnership. That speaks of, ladies, know the capacity of your man and know your capacity to pick up, to carry the rest of what he can't, so that everything gets to where it's supposed to be. And I love what you said about that time, that example. That's on point. That's how we end up with breaches in our relationships, because where you spend the most of your time is where you put a lot of your love. And so, you know, it's about communication and connection. The more I communicate with you, the more I'm connected to you. Right. So we'll be finishing each other's sentences and they'll be sitting there feeling left out, you know, and you wouldn't be understanding why, because we've created this other norm, this other normalcy, and we just doing what we do, you know. And meanwhile, your spouse, that intimacy, that's what you're speaking to, is that intimacy that should not be broken. I love that. Let me read these comments and then we'll get to Eric and then we're going to go to Rob. So TK Khalil, thank you for joining us tonight, TA. I'm sorry, I'm reading backwards. TA, welcome into, y'all see me, right? Welcome into a Thursday night and into this conversation. TA says, a woman brings love and companionship and gives man purpose. All right. Gives man purpose. He also says, a woman can inspire and motivate a man to be more than he is, to be better than he would alone. And I hope that we grab hold of that, ladies. This is why we have got to watch what we say and mind how we show up. I'm a firm believer in that. I should be the breath behind your dreams. I want to be the wind, you know, beneath your wings to push you and inspire you. Like, babe, you got it. You know, if you want to make kites out of popsicle sticks, listen, I'm going to find some tree branches or something. You know, we're going to do what we do and just keep believing in them. This is what the men are saying. Something happens when men speak. Theo, yes. She says Rock's wheels are turning. Yeah, we know brother Rock. We already know. Thank you so much. I love everything that you said. And again, here we're here to convict nor convince. It is not one voice, one sound. We are sharing from different perspectives. We are not experts. We are coming from the places of our experiences, and we're sharing from our well of life. So we hope that this opens up other thoughts, other streams of thoughts, and will help to break down some of these things that we have been holding on to, these fallacies and these narratives. We have to change the narratives of our lives because it is blocking people and good things out. Mommy says, Pastor Rosa, Mama Rosa says, I can understand your point, Saeed, because we do relate to people we work close with. And if your relationship is missing anything, people are going to connect, even if it is in a small sense. That's right. That's right. Listen, if you on the phone, don't do it. Don't do it. We gonna have a problem. So I totally understand and respect where you're coming from. You should not spend more time with anyone outside than you do inside. I even said it. Remember when we were at the panel at the event, and the man was talking, and I said, he said he wanted his wife to talk to him the same way she talked to the man who signs her paycheck. And I said, sir, let me tell you something. I said, no, you don't. You don't want me to talk to you like I talk to people who sign my paycheck. That's not what you want. Trust me, because number one, when I put you in that category, it makes you basic. And you should never be basic. You should never be. You should never get talked to. The verbiage and vernacular I use with other people should not ever be used when it comes to you. Comes to you. Come on, Saeed. And after that, Eric. Yeah, go ahead, please.
I just wanted to touch on that. See, when a man wants that, he thinks that the woman respects the man that's signing the check. To me, again, to my point earlier, it should be us that's writing a check. We shouldn't be sending our woman out there to get a job. We should be creating that job. Creating that opportunity is what a man does. So if you fear your woman to speak to that she would speak to another man better than she speaks to you. I saw that interview back in the day. I saw that and I understood it, but I also understand the fact that it's our job as men to create that opportunity so our wife don't have to go and talk nice to another man.
Right, I'm with you. I just absolutely feel that even if I have to, and with respect to that, even if I have to, I'm still not going to speak to you on the same level. You in a whole category by yourself. None can compare to you. It doesn't
That's
mean
right.
that I agree with everything. It doesn't mean that we always gonna see eye to
That's
eye.
right.
It mean that we're not going to have heated fellowship discussions. But what it
Hmm.
does mean is that I'm gonna respect you to a
Hmm.
whole nother level and degree than I do anybody else. Anybody
That's
else.
it. That's
And
it.
and I got proof, in the building that I that I actually it's
Hmm.
in real life operate that way. Like, and that's what it is. So ladies, we have to be mindful that the men in our lives should never take second place to anybody. Come
Nope.
on, share with us. Tell me what you think. Share with us how can not that what makes a woman valuable? I was getting to the second question. See, y'all got me all excited. I'm loving this. I hope y'all are liking, subscribing, and sharing. Tell us what makes a woman valuable in a man's life.
Who? Me? Me?
Eric, we're gonna get to you.
Oh,
No,
We
let the
gotta
brother
we
let the
gotta
brother go first because he was like, "Oh, me." He's got some stuff he want to get off his mind. So I yield the floor. I yield the floor.
no. We not yielding nowhere. You invite them and you drinking first and you don't offer them nothing to drink. We don't do that. We got manners.
Listen, listen.
He share. Rock is good. He be all right. He's fine. Come on and share, Eric. What makes a woman valuable to you? Ladies, let's lean in so that we can hear these things because women, our mindsets need to be changed. We've been too, we've been, we've been too, our thoughts have been too twisted by society and by things that we've lost some of the respect and regard of really what our value is to men. So come on, share. What makes a woman valuable?
Her vocabulary makes a woman valuable.
Okay, watch your speech, ladies.
Yes, the way she speaks, yes, makes her valuable. Um, to a man, I personally don't want all that ghetto, the ghetto talk and everything. That's not valuable. That doesn't show me that you value yourself when you speak like that. So yes, your diction is valuable to me. It shows me that you care about yourself, that you care about how you speak around people, not just because you're around your office or anything like that, but when you speak like that in the office or out of the office, you speak like that around your family. Um, my my
That's for Rock.
wife,
That's for Rock.
yeah, my wife, excuse me, she likes to talk with perfect vocabulary, and I love that about her because sometimes I just we have a conversation, I come out with words, and she like, that's not even a word. I be like, but it's my word. You know what I'm saying? It's my word, but she corrects me. She corrects me on my madness, and I love that about her. And all. Um, so yes, her vocabulary, her mindset, her um her willingness um to let her what is it? I'm trying to find the right word. To let her
Tasha,
blinds that.
what's the word he's looking for?
Yeah, yeah. Because she reads my mind sometimes. um,
See, she coming in. Listen, your
yeah,
help me coming. She said how you communicate does matter.
does matter, right? So when you can let your when you can let your guard down, that's the word that I was looking for. When you can let your guard down and be yourself around your man,
Be vulnerable.
and right, be vulnerable. Both of you have to be. You know what I'm saying? I don't hide my feelings and everything. I let her know what's on my mind. She lets me know what's on her mind. I don't care if it brings me to tears. At the end of the, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I'm gonna get what I gotta say out. She's gonna get what she has to say out, and then we're going to come together after that. We're not gonna go to bed mad and everything. I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna love you tonight, just like I loved you in the morning when I woke up. Just because we had a, you know, if we had a, a huge argument or disagreement, because we don't have arguments, we have disagreements. So if you have a disagreement, you come to a conclusion, and then you work through that, and then you move on to the next. So the communication, the vulnerability, when you can let your shades down to let the light in for that man to see you as you're supposed to be. If that makes
That's,
sense.
it does make sense. You're sharing real good. What I'm hearing, or what we're hearing today, and ladies, again, lean in. I hope you're taking this in. These are real men talking real talk. He's talking about presentation and how you verbalize your vocab. The language that we speak is reflective of the mindset that you have. And I think we also have to keep in mind, ladies, that how we speak, we are our husbands or the men in our lives. We are their, I want to say, kind of their crown and glory, if you will. We are reflections of them. So when we are out, how we speak does make a difference, you know. So we have to keep that in mind. It's mindset. He talked about vulnerability and the ability to resolve and retain the relationship, not resolve and throw it away. But you have to have that bounce back that, you know, will allow the relationship to continue. Ladies, I hope this is helping us to get rid of some of the mentalities and thoughts that we have had about what men really want and what makes us valuable. We are more than the pretty face and the short skirt with the red bottoms, and all of that is good and fine
Leather
and well.
outfits.
But mine just,
And let me just say this.
bro, you ain't got to do that.
Let me just say this
Mhm.
to the ladies and whatever gentlemen are on, you know, in listening now. Always remember that as men, we have to treat our women as queens, and the women should treat us as kings. But in order for us to be treated as kings, you have to show that you're treating your woman like the queen that she is. Don't get mad. Don't get mad if she's not treating you like the king that you think you're supposed to be treated as, when you're not treating her as the queen that she is supposed to be, that she deserves to be treated as.
That's good. That's good. Basically, and just to put it in another way, in case you've missed it in plain language, women are reciprocators, men are initiators. So, man, we reciprocate what you initiate. So when you are getting treated in the way when we are acting, and it's not taking ownership off of, we're all accountable for our actions. But you set the tone. You know, men set the tones for things. I always say, you know, you set the pace, I'll keep the flow. We move how you move, just like that. If you're the lead and you're the head, then that's what I'm expecting you to do. What you put in my hands, I'm gonna multiply. I'm gonna make it. But I need you to put me in a position to do what I do. You know, instead of being on the sideline. So, you know, you want to treat, you know, you want to be a queen, we have to have queen behavior. But our king has to be the one that we can be that queen for. And I know it's a lot of responsibility on men, but, you know, this is what y'all were born and made to do. I want to read some comments. Thank you for that, E. I loved it. Vaughn Eric,
Thank you.
the invisible man, is in the building. He says, blessings all. Thank you for joining in, brother. Good to see you, my Vaughn. That's my sparring partner, y'all. Me and Vaughn go at it regularly, but I love him. I do. That's my guy. Keep me posted says, hey, mama from Mississippi. Theo says, she was saying to Rock, write down your thoughts, brother. Write down your thoughts. Said, hey, because we know Rock, we ready. We get ready to unleash you, bro. We getting ready to unleash you. Natasha again says, how you communicate does matter. Lisa says, a place where masks come off and hearts exhale. That is in that vulnerability. Yes, Lisa, I love how you put that. Mommy says, listen, she's just mommy, y'all. I can't help it. She says, communication is important. It tells a lot about a person. You know, I was good at communicating. I was good at communication. I was not good at communicating because I was a shutdown queen in a minute. Like I surely will. I will shut down in a heartbeat, be the ice queen. That was not good behavior. I'm reformed now. Yeah, I listen. It got proof in the building. Who could tell? I'm being honest. I'm being honest about myself. I'm telling on myself. Ladies, we cannot do that. We have to learn how to communicate, open up, and every heated fellowship does not mean that the resolution is that it is over. You have to learn how to stay in the fight and continue to forge forward. Sasha says, this time I have no idea. She was trying to help her husband out. It's just Eric, find the word that he was looking for. But she had your back, though. She had your back.
Yeah.
Lisa says, when you don't have to explain your anger or sadness or shrink your joy, that's good, right? When you can be, and I think that goes back to the vulnerability, that you can be every part of who you are and what you're feeling in that moment. Ladies, we have to make it safe for our men to be able to share what they are feeling at all times and still respect them at the end of it. That adds value, I believe. Landon says, love is there, but also women highlight the like, in quotes, and friendship. Empowering aspect makes women very valuable. I appreciate that comment. You're right, because we get tripped up on this love thing. Everything is love, and forget that you have to like us. We need to be likable. We're so busy trying to make you fall in love with us that we forget to be kind. And make that like factor and that friendship. Because like Saeed was speaking earlier about his wife being his best friend, and being that friend, that number one friend. Friendship is key, ladies, to men. They're not always looking for you, to tip the nightstand over. Sometimes they just want their friend, be that friend. So that's important. Thank you for that, Landon. I love it. Tasha says, not being able to let your walls down will destroy a relationship. Absolutely. I have done it many a day. Absolutely have. I take ownership of that. And I, again, say I'm reformed. I hope y'all are enjoying this conversation. I hope you hit that thumbs up button for us. It is free 99 to you, but it means everything to us. Tasha says, good communication relationship allows you to build. Exactly. It does. Mama says, you better teach E. You better show the people what you learned, sir. And then Nate says, you know what I said, you keep the pace, I'll keep the flow. Love that. Absolutely. You're here to lead. And if I can't let you, and I hate using that term, if I let you, but that's what we do a lot of times, let women. Me. Yeah,
let me. You gonna let me?
When I say that, a lot of times women, we use that and it becomes venomous. But me letting you lead really is a self-check for me to tell me to get out of your way.
Say it quiet.
Let the man do what the man is here to do. I don't have to like it. I don't have to agree all the time. But I got to learn. I think Saeed said earlier about being humble, learning how to humble yourself. When you were talking about like with your mom and having, we have to learn how to humble ourselves to the men in our lives. Let them lead and get out of the way, because that's pride that stands up in the midst of it. So I hope we're learning something on tonight about the worth of a woman in a man's world. Yep, you set the pace, sir. I keep the flow. Come on, Rock, and share your thoughts on the value of a woman. What makes a woman valuable?
I like what Shai said. I really do. But I also like what you said about what he said as well too. It does depend on the person, and it does depend on how deep or how intimate you allow, situations and conversations to go. You can control that. Each individual can control that, and I think I'm not sure if Saeed or you said, and you also have to make sure that there's no wounds going on. Because usually when stuff like that happens, there's wounds that's in the relationship. So when you have conversations, if that wound is open, like so if I'm going through a period of time when I shut myself down to where I'm not really communicating with my wife or whatever, and somebody comes up and they start talking, that's an open wound, right? And then if that gives her ability oh, I have a platform to now express myself, you know. So, but also I like what you were saying about the like, or somebody said in the comments about the like and the like. You know, you have to have a foundation for your love. You know, you have to have a foundation. A foundation has 4 corners, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if your foundation is built on nothing, when love crumbles, this is where divorce and stuff comes from. This is where separation comes from. This is where arguments lead to separation. But when love crumbles and it falls on friendship, right? And if it falls on like, and it falls on these different things, then see, those are still powerful entities, right? And you can rejuvenate yourself from that, because you know that's my best friend. I can't, because it all depends on what value you have on. Because some of these words we use very loosely today too. People say love and don't love, friend and it's not a friend. You know, like it, they not like it. But to answer the question that's at hand, mine is when a woman or my wife exercise her ability to be emotional without to not be emotional without the benefit of her intellect. That's what gets me, is when your emotions is not the number one thing. Your emotions is not everything. You can say what you're saying, but when you allow your intellect to chime in, now you have the ability to listen as well as what you're saying, and you have the ability to separate it. Okay, this is this is this. Now, how are we going to come to what's the conclusion, or what's going to be the outcome of this? Right? That is very powerful. You know, being emotional, not being emotional without the benefit of your intellect. You got to always allow your intellect to chime in, because in emotions, both men and women know, when you become emotional, it gets haywire.
True.
You're going to say something you didn't remember saying. You're going to do something you don't remember doing, and then you're going to think the other person's setting you up. I've never said that. I would never said that to you. Yes, you did. Oh my God. So yeah, you did say that. You know, so you have to allow your intellect to chime in at some point, because your emotions not checked are very dangerous and can be very lethal. You know, especially coming from women, because they don't even have to be emotional to be lethal. They can be just cool, calm, collected, say, "Well, you know I love you," and then say something right after that. You be like, "What?" You know, so that's what it is for me. I guess it goes back to the emotional intelligence, being able to recognize, manage, and manage the flow. And so, even though a man has a role, woman has a role, there are times that we have to help one another in our roles.
Absolutely.
Because everybody both can be. If I'm emotional, like I always tell people, if you catch me wrong and my wife wrong at the same time, it's dangerous, because she could be stubborn and I could be stubborn, and it's not going to be good. And to me, it's really like a game to me, because it's like me just operating in, oh, this is easy to do. It takes a lot of work not to be stubborn, but to be stubborn or to act in other ways, that's easy. It don't take no work to be that right? So we have to assist each other in the roles at times, and you have to know how to read. You have to be a good reader. I was sharing with one of my daughters earlier. You have to, well, it's the truth, and I'm just asking, yeah, but you have to read the room. What mindset is he in? Has he been going through something? His mother's been sick. His father just passed. And now you want to keep coming with all of this and all of this and all of this. Men have things on their mind like women have things on their mind. You got to read the room. You just can't just dive in all the time. You got to read. I'm telling you something. I got to the point where I got like 3 PhDs, 2 masters, and a bachelor's degree on reading the room. You got to. I can read my wife as soon as she opened up her eyes in the morning. I can read it. I'm not going to joke with her this morning. She's gone, not this morning. Because, I'm a joke, so I like to joke, play, laugh. And, sometimes you be like, oh, no, not this morning. She trying to get ready for work. She don't look like she... But that's important. Because what happens is, if you misread and she responds, Now you and your feelings. Because I remember when we first used to get together, and mom was like, well, I don't feel like playing. And I used to keep going, well, I don't feel like playing. Stop playing. You playing. And I keep going. And then she popped back. Then I went, who are you talking to like that? No, it was my fault. Because once somebody say something and you ignore it, now you enter into the lane of now you're provoking. Whether you want to see it or not, you're provoking because they're telling you. So you have to know how to read your spouses too. It's imperative that you know how to read. It can't be all about how you feel. It's about how they're doing as well and where they're at, how their week's going, how they done. I make it a habit every day. How was your shift? How you doing? You know, you got to. And then you got to be open about how you doing. You can't be saying, oh, I'm fine. And something happens, like, what's going on? Well, you know, I was in a lot of pain. But I specifically asked you how you were doing. You said you were fine. Well, overall, I didn't ask you overall how you were doing. If I ask you how you doing, it's because I see something.
Right. Hold on 1 second, bro, because we got a super chat in the house. So whenever we get a super chat in the house, we got to pause and celebrate for the super chat. Thank you so much. Pastor Sheila is in the house. We celebrated. She says, great conversation, wonderful flow from the men. Bravo. As you know, she is the queen bee of this network. So for her to give us a salute, y'all are doing something on tonight. Y'all making her proud with your shares. So we thank you for the super chat, and feel free, y'all, if you're enjoying the conversation, you can hit that little I think it's a little $ button on the bottom, and you can add a super chat. The funds go to helping us acquire the things that we need to keep improving and bringing you great content. It goes to building the network, and we appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let me just while we're pausing, let me just read some comments, and then we can move a little further. I do still have my other place I gotta go, and I don't want to go because, you know, this is why when we start getting into the heat, the depth of the conversations, you know, and I love this. I should say this. We already started out saying it was going to be a part 2, but don't worry, gentlemen. I appreciate you. It's not over yet. They gonna hold my spot for me. Don't worry, they're gonna hold my spot. Where did we leave off? Right, you said the pace. I just want to make sure we're in the right spot. I don't want to miss anyone's comments. So Mama Rosa says you must set boundaries in all relationships to protect that main relationship, and that is true. So much boundaries are not necessarily to bind us, but I believe that they are to help keep us safe and keep the things that we care about, you know, in a good place. Natasha says, Mrs. Swinton says, sometimes you have to take a beat before you speak, I guess a breath before you speak, instead of speaking from emotions. Yes. And Anae is reminding me, yes, ma'am. Thank you for having my back and keeping me on schedule. What Rock was saying about emotions, because women, we are quick to respond from in an emotional space. The first time we hear a man say something that we don't like, instead of letting him finish his sentence, we will, you know, jump in and cut you off. Or no, because that, you know, and we have to stop doing that. So it's important that we pause, so that we are not responding out of emotion, but that we're listening so we can reply. Excuse me, let me fix that. So that we're not reacting out of emotion, but we are responding from a place of our intelligence, being led by our thought, not by our feelings. And all of this is amazing, and it is great. And this is an amazing start to this topic of conversation, a woman's worth in a man's world. Listen, y'all know we go at it here on any other Thursday night, and I don't even want to. It's not that I don't want to go, but I don't want to go because y'all are teaching and sharing so much, and I'm hopeful that this conversation has cord and it's been helpful to both men and women so that we can communicate better. Before we wrap up tonight, I want to first say thank you to Brother Saeed. Thank you so much for your yes. I look forward to you. I'm so, like I'm mad because it's your first time on and I got to make it an hour, but we're going to have you come back so you can finish up because I enjoy what you are sharing. So please make sure you say yes to the whole month of June. Okay. Because we if it's okay with your missus, if your wife does not mind lending you to us. Okay. Because we definitely, I told y'all this is going to be a part 2. Listen, these men are talking from their heart, and ladies, we have to lean in. I want to tell you that the month of June is dedicated to the men completely. Y'all have every Thursday in June is going to be about y'all. So we want you to come on and talk and share. And we're going to have some of our ladies come on, and we'll have our dual panel like we usually do so that we can share one with the other and be the iron that sharpens iron. But I so appreciate you. E, you already know what it is. I'm so glad that thank you for the support. Thank you for always supportive in everything that I do. And I appreciate it beyond words. And I'm so glad that you are on here sharing from this space so that people can live and learn from the experiences. And again, people understand that these are men who are, I'm going to say it this way, but not in this way. Y'all are exceptional men, but these are regular men who are talking real talk, the everyday brothers that you meet, that sometimes voices are not heard, but they need to be, because these are the voices that are making a difference. Everything that each one of you has lent to this conversation on tonight, I promise you, whether they're watching live, whether they're up in the silent section or in the replay, you have given us so much to think about for real. I got like a whole page full, and you don't even want to see the notes.
Oh, wow.
When y'all talk, I'm writing down. I'm taking notes. Listen, I'm trying to get it right. I'm not trying to be right. I'm trying to get it right. Mm-hmm. And learning from 3 men who are doing just that and getting it right. Ladies, let's revamp how we think and understand that our worth in a man's life is so much more than our pretty face. Okay? We got to.
Shot. You're supposed to have a plate for everybody, man.
Listen, that's what I'm saying.
Now, come on. He can't do that. Baby sis. He can't do that.
So before we
got ribs, and his wife gave him a plate of ribs and everything. He goes like this in front of the camera and then put it down on the table. All he had to do was slide it on the table. Nobody can see what it was. Oh, this dude.
We'll wrap this up now and let everybody have their final comments so we can let my brother, because I want to come back. All right, so start with Saeed, and then we're going to go to Eric, and then we're going to go to Rock. If you had a word of advice or encouragement to the people on tonight to share about a woman's worth in a man's life, what would it be? Come on, Saeed. Hold any way you want to. What would you like to leave the people with on tonight until next time?
Peace. Just bring peace. The person who brings you the most peace should get the most time. And the men's lounge, it'll get an abundance of my time. I enjoyed tonight. Peace.
Amen. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. We love it. I listen. All right, your face is about to be a regular on here. Don't play with me, Saeed, okay? Don't play. Come on, E. Share with us your final thoughts, or what would you want to share with people on tonight?
Come on, Nephew Junior. That boy look just like Nephew, I swear. That boy look just like Nephew.
Don't judge. Don't judge. Listen. Don't just listen with your mind. Listen with your heart.
Come on, man. That's exactly what I was going to say. This dude, man.
Come on, Big Brother Rock. Give the people.
She put me last because I got speak up. Now I got to say something different.
No, co-host. This is what we do.
Listen to understand, and not listen to reply.
See, our men, they leaving us with all these philosophical, ladies. I hope y'all are, listen, watch the replay so y'all can catch it. Okay.
And that's and because I was going to say what he said. I was gonna say what he said.
And to the women in your lives, I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, sis in love. Thank you, Lady Cleveland. Thank you, Mrs. Swinton, for lending your men to us to share on tonight in this talk about a woman's worth in a man's world. Thank you for being the valuable gems to them that you are, so that they can come and be living proof that it is possible. And it is a realistic goal to be able to have that type of cohesive relationship and continue on and let it grow into something special. You men are amazing, and I appreciate you. Don't worry, you're going to see them again in June. I'm going to hunt y'all down. You're going to see them in the month of June. Be prepared. It's all about the men. But join us next Thursday night for a special edition at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on the Bravo Sheila Network. While we are wrapping up this Women's Month, the topic is going to be Pretty for a Big Girl. We're going to be talking about body positivity. What people don't understand is that's somewhat of a back-ended compliment. So we want to just kind of start breaking down some narratives and just begin to become more ladies, more confident in who we are, regardless as to your physicality. Girl, dress it up and keep it pushing. I know every day. So I want to thank you all. Salute to you, Brother Saeed. Salute to you, Sir Eric. Salute to you, Rockology, my big brother. Thank you all for tuning in. Hang tight for 2 seconds. And don't forget to tune in next week, everybody. We will see you then. Good night.
Important, you get a portion of fortune pouring. Confession, fortunately, blessings on now they snoring. You mellow, so focus on scoring. Got your underperforming. I never expect something, never assume nothing. Judging me for my past, but that's why I'm trying.